You're probably thinking, I know when I'm thirsty. This doesn't apply to me. But what if your body stopped clearly telling you when it needs water? After age 65, that's exactly what happens. Dehydration becomes one of the most misunderstood and overlooked health issues among seniors, not because you neglect your health, but because your body's signals quietly change. Imagine feeling exhausted day after day, experiencing strange bouts of confusion, or even unexplained aches, things you've simply blamed on aging or slowing down. What if these aren't signs of aging at all, but something much simpler, something completely reversible? Today, we'll uncover the surprising truth behind these subtle yet critical symptoms. In this video, you'll learn the most misunderstood signs of dehydration, specifically after age 65. You'll discover why your body might be desperately calling for water, even when you're not feeling thirsty, and how recognizing these overlooked signs can dramatically improve your health, mood, memory, and overall quality of life. Stay tuned until the end, because simply understanding your body's silent cries for water might just be the easiest and most powerful step you take towards a healthier, happier life. Have you ever wondered why you're constantly feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep? Maybe you've begun accepting fatigue as a natural part of aging, thinking it's normal after 65 to slow down a bit. But here's something important most seniors never consider. Persistent fatigue might actually be your body signaling a quiet, chronic thirst. The reality is, dehydration after 65 rarely manifests as the intense thirst we experienced in our youth. Instead, it often disguises itself as relentless exhaustion. Your body, composed mostly of water, relies heavily on proper hydration to circulate blood effectively and deliver oxygen throughout your system. Without enough water, your heart has to work harder, your muscles tire faster, and simple activities start feeling overwhelming. Take the story of Carol, a lively 68-year-old who loved traveling and gardening. Carol gradually began noticing her usual activities becoming draining. Short walks felt exhausting, her garden was neglected, and she couldn't understand why even simple chores seemed monumental. Initially, she worried about serious illness, but a visit to her doctor revealed a surprisingly simple solution. Carol was chronically dehydrated. By consciously increasing her water intake, Carol quickly regained energy, enthusiasm, and returned to her favorite activities. Carol's experience is more common than you'd think. Numerous studies confirm even mild dehydration can drastically reduce energy levels, slow metabolism, and impair physical stamina. But the good news is, once you recognize dehydration as the culprit, reversing fatigue is incredibly straightforward. If this persistent tiredness sounds familiar, consider that your body might need water more urgently than rest. Start by intentionally drinking a bit more water throughout your day, not large amounts all at once, just steady sips every hour. Small adjustments can yield dramatic improvements in how you feel. Could something as simple as hydration truly make you feel younger, stronger, and more energetic? You'll never know unless you try. Do you sometimes find yourself feeling unusually forgetful, misplacing items more frequently, or having trouble concentrating on tasks that used to feel effortless? It's easy to worry about these mental slips after 65, fearing they signal cognitive decline or even something more serious, like dementia. But what if the true culprit was far simpler and completely reversible? Here's a surprising fact. Your brain is about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can significantly impair your memory, concentration, and overall mental clarity. Unfortunately, as you age, your thirst sensation dulls, making it easy to overlook subtle dehydration. Rather than alerting you with a dry mouth or intense thirst, your brain's silent calls for water manifest as fogginess, confusion, or memory lapses. Let's consider Michael, a retired schoolteacher who prided himself on a sharp mind and attention to detail. At 71, Michael started experiencing frustrating moments of forgetfulness. He would misplace his glasses regularly, forget appointments, and sometimes struggled to recall details of recent conversations. Naturally, Michael worried these might be early signs of dementia. After an anxious visit to his doctor, he was astonished by the advice he received: drink more water. Within days of following this simple recommendation, Michael felt clearer, sharper, and far less forgetful. Science strongly supports Michael's experience. Research has repeatedly shown that dehydration significantly slows cognitive functions, especially among seniors. Even mild dehydration, as little as a 1% decrease in body water, can lead to reduced brain function, slowed reaction times, and difficulty maintaining concentration. Yet, most seniors unknowingly attribute these symptoms to aging or serious medical conditions, missing out on a simple solution right at their fingertips. The best news? You have the power to improve your cognitive clarity today. By consistently sipping water throughout the day, adding hydrating fruits and vegetables to your diet, and keeping an eye on subtle dehydration signs, such as darker-colored urine, you can maintain and even enhance your mental sharpness. Before you attribute your mental fog to aging, why not test this simple solution? You might be surprised at how quickly your memory and concentration improve once your body receives the hydration it desperately needs. Let's move on to another misunderstood symptom, one you've probably never associated with dehydration. Have you ever been bothered by frequent headaches that seem to appear without a clear cause? Many seniors find themselves reaching for painkillers regularly, assuming these headaches are just another unfortunate reality of growing older. But did you know these headaches could be your body's subtle plea for water? Here's something most people never realize. Dehydration is one of the most common, yet least suspected, causes of persistent headaches in older adults. When your body is low on water, it can cause your brain to slightly shrink away from your skull, triggering tension and discomfort. It sounds alarming, but even mild dehydration can cause this effect, making headaches a frequent, unwelcome guest. Take Barbara, a 69-year-old woman who had grown accustomed to daily headaches, often blaming them on stress or poor sleep. Barbara had tried everything, changing her diet, adjusting her sleep patterns, and even visiting neurologists, but the headaches persisted. It wasn't until her physician suggested she might simply be dehydrated that things finally improved. Barbara, initially skeptical, committed to increasing her water intake significantly. To her amazement, within just a few days, her headaches diminished drastically. Soon, the daily discomfort that had disrupted her life for years became rare and manageable. Barbara's experience reflects what researchers consistently find. Dehydration headaches are incredibly common, especially among seniors whose thirst signals weaken over time. Clinical studies have shown that as little as a 1 to 2% loss in body fluids can trigger headaches, reduce cognitive function, and diminish overall well-being. Yet older adults rarely identify dehydration as the cause, inadvertently prolonging their discomfort. Fortunately, the solution is remarkably simple. By consciously drinking water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty, you can dramatically reduce headache frequency. Keep a glass of water near you and sip regularly. Consider incorporating water-rich fruits, soups, and herbal teas into your daily diet. This gentle, steady hydration approach prevents the sudden dips in fluid levels that trigger headaches in the first place. So before you reach again for painkillers, pause and consider, could your body simply be asking for water? A small change in your hydration habits could be all it takes to bring lasting relief and significantly improve your daily comfort. Next, we'll explore another overlooked yet critical sign that dehydration might be silently impacting your life. Have you noticed more frequent muscle aches or joint pains lately, aches you've simply attributed to getting older? Perhaps your knees feel stiff when you stand up, your back feels strained after mild exertion, or even simple movements seem increasingly uncomfortable. It's natural to assume that these pains are inevitable companions of aging. But what if there's another explanation hiding in plain sight? Here's a surprising fact. Persistent joint and muscle pains can often be subtle symptoms of chronic dehydration. This might sound strange at first. After all, when we think about hydration, we rarely associate it with our joints or muscles. But your joints and muscles depend heavily on water to function smoothly. Cartilage, the flexible tissue cushioning your joints, is made up primarily of water. When your body lacks sufficient hydration, this vital cushioning shrinks, causing bones to rub painfully against each other and creating stiffness, discomfort, and even inflammation. Think about Frank, a 72-year-old retired firefighter who had always remained active. Over the past year, Frank began experiencing significant stiffness and pain, especially in his knees and hips. He quickly blamed decades of physically demanding work, accepting the discomfort as unavoidable arthritis. He adjusted his daily routine to cope, shortening his walks, avoiding stairs, and reluctantly abandoning hobbies he once loved. When Frank mentioned his aches casually during a routine checkup, His doctor surprised him with the question, "How much water do you drink daily?" Frank hesitated, realizing he mostly drank coffee, tea, or occasionally a soda, but rarely plain water. His doctor explained how critical hydration is for maintaining healthy cartilage and reducing inflammation in muscles and joints. Skeptical but hopeful, Frank committed to drinking several glasses of water daily. Within 2 weeks, his aches noticeably lessened, his movements became easier, and activities he had given up seemed achievable again. Frank hadn't experienced a miraculous recovery from aging. He had simply given his body the hydration it desperately needed. Science strongly supports Frank's experience. Studies have demonstrated that chronic dehydration increases joint and muscle discomfort in seniors. For example, research published in the Journal of Clinical Rheumatology revealed that even mild dehydration contributes significantly to stiffness, swelling, and chronic inflammation. Additionally, dehydrated muscles fatigue faster, leading to increased pain during physical activities, ultimately discouraging seniors from moving around as much, thus exacerbating stiffness and discomfort in a vicious cycle. This cycle becomes particularly dangerous because, ironically, pain can discourage drinking enough fluids. Older adults experiencing discomfort may subconsciously avoid hydration, hoping to reduce movement that might trigger further pain. The result is a downward spiral. Decreased hydration worsens inflammation and stiffness, leading to more discomfort and even less physical activity. Without intervention, this cycle negatively impacts not only your physical health but your emotional and social well-being as well. But here's the empowering truth. You have the ability to break this cycle easily. Simply increasing your water intake daily can significantly reduce inflammation, replenish joint lubrication, and alleviate muscle discomfort. The key is consistency rather than volume. Drinking small amounts regularly throughout the day ensures your body maintains steady hydration, helping your muscles and joints function optimally. If drinking plain water feels monotonous, there are plenty of enjoyable alternatives. Hydrating foods such as cucumbers, oranges, watermelon, and soups can significantly boost your fluid intake. Herbal teas and flavored waters infused with lemon, mint, or berries make hydration tasty and enjoyable. You might even find hydration becoming an enjoyable daily ritual rather than a chore. Before resigning yourself to persistent aches as an unavoidable part of aging, consider the simple act of hydration. Imagine waking up in the morning without immediate discomfort, taking leisurely walks without pain, and rediscovering activities you once loved, all achievable by giving your body the water it truly needs. In the next and final part, we'll explore one of the most serious yet misunderstood dehydration signs that could dramatically impact your long-term health, and why recognizing it could be life-saving. Imagine a silent enemy, unnoticed yet slowly undermining your health, increasing your risks of falls, kidney issues, and even serious heart complications. Sounds alarming, doesn't it? But for millions of seniors, this scenario isn't imaginary. It's a daily reality masked by an invisible yet highly dangerous condition: chronic dehydration. Here's the unsettling truth. Dehydration after 65 often occurs silently, without the typical thirst you felt when younger. Your kidneys, responsible for filtering toxins and balancing fluids, naturally weaken with age, meaning they can't regulate hydration as effectively as they once did. This makes you vulnerable to fluid loss that builds up gradually over weeks or even months, subtly impacting your entire body without you realizing it until serious symptoms appear. Take the kidneys, for example. These hard-working organs rely on consistent hydration to flush toxins from your bloodstream, balance electrolytes, and maintain healthy blood pressure. When you're dehydrated, kidneys struggle and can gradually weaken, significantly increasing your risk of developing chronic kidney disease. According to medical research, nearly 1 in 5 seniors with chronic kidney disease became dehydrated repeatedly without realizing it. Consider Elizabeth, an active 75-year-old woman who had always considered herself healthy. Elizabeth rarely drank water, preferring tea, coffee, or juice. One summer afternoon, she suddenly became dizzy and fainted while gardening. Alarmed, she was rushed to the emergency room. There, doctors discovered her blood pressure was dangerously low, a direct result of severe dehydration. Elizabeth learned that the fainting episode could easily have resulted in serious injuries or worse. She was astonished to realize that something as simple as not drinking enough water had put her life at genuine risk. Elizabeth's experience isn't isolated. Every year, thousands of older adults experience severe health crises stemming from unnoticed chronic dehydration. The consequences extend far beyond fainting. Studies consistently link chronic dehydration in seniors to a higher likelihood of dangerous blood pressure fluctuations, increased falls, severe urinary tract infections, kidney stones, and even serious cardiovascular events. Yet despite these very real dangers, chronic dehydration remains significantly underdiagnosed and misunderstood. Moreover, as dehydration quietly intensifies, it amplifies feelings of dizziness and imbalance, severely increasing your risk of falls, a leading cause of injuries and hospitalization among older adults. Falling isn't just dangerous due to immediate injury. It often initiates a cycle of reduced mobility, diminished independence, and even social isolation, significantly impairing quality of life. But why does dehydration become such a hidden threat after 65? The primary issue lies in your body's declining ability to signal thirst. While younger people instinctively drink when thirsty, seniors' brains gradually become less responsive to dehydration. Consequently, older adults can become severely dehydrated without ever experiencing noticeable thirst. Additionally, many seniors consciously limit fluid intake, fearing increased trips to the bathroom, particularly during nighttime. Ironically, this practice intended for convenience severely compromises their health over time. Dehydration doesn't just attack silently, it also intensifies subtly over time. Even slight daily fluid deficits build progressively, and what starts as mild dehydration can eventually lead to critical health emergencies. The body compensates initially by concentrating urine, but as dehydration continues, essential processes like nutrient absorption, toxin elimination, and even digestion suffer dramatically. Eventually, chronic dehydration can permanently affect kidney function, cardiovascular health, and cognitive capabilities, significantly reducing both your lifespan and quality of life. The positive side of this alarming picture is how quickly and dramatically hydration improves your health. The moment you consistently begin providing your body with sufficient water, kidneys regain optimal function, blood pressure stabilizes, dizziness subsides, and cognitive clarity returns. With something as simple and accessible as water, you gain the power to transform your overall health dramatically, protecting yourself from severe medical issues and ensuring a significantly higher quality of life. If you've been inadvertently neglecting hydration, consider simple steps to restore fluid levels safely. Sip fluids regularly. Keep a glass or bottle near you throughout the day and drink small amounts often, rather than trying to consume large quantities all at once. Consume water-rich foods. Fruits and vegetables like watermelon, cucumber, oranges, soups, and broths naturally boost your hydration. Schedule hydration breaks. Establish small daily habits like having a glass of water after waking, before meals, or before bedtime. Avoid over-relying on diuretics. Reduce excessive coffee, tea, alcohol, and sugary beverages that promote fluid loss. Ultimately, hydration represents one of the simplest yet most impactful ways to significantly improve your long-term health. Recognizing dehydration's subtle signs, fatigue, confusion, headaches, joint pain, and dizziness, isn't just about preventing discomfort. It's about safeguarding your independence, enhancing your daily life, and ensuring your future remains healthy, vibrant, and full of possibilities. Today, we've uncovered the surprisingly misunderstood signs of dehydration that millions of seniors ignore daily. You've seen how subtle dehydration can mask itself as fatigue, memory loss, unexplained aches, frequent headaches, and even dizziness, silently harming your health while masquerading as aging. But here's the empowering news. The solution is entirely within your control. You don't need expensive treatments, complicated procedures, or medications with side effects. All you need is consistent hydration, a simple act with profound benefits. Imagine waking each morning feeling refreshed instead of exhausted, your mind sharper and clearer, free from nagging pains and headaches. Picture yourself moving comfortably through your daily routine, confident and secure in your independence, no longer vulnerable to dizziness or dangerous falls. This isn't wishful thinking, it's entirely achievable. The first step is awareness. You've already gained that today. The second step is simple action. Commit to small daily changes in your hydration habits. Keep water nearby, incorporate water-rich foods, and watch closely for subtle dehydration signs. Each glass of water you drink today is an investment in your future health, independence, and happiness. So, take action now. Share this crucial information with friends and family who could benefit from knowing these subtle signs. And most importantly, make hydration a daily priority for yourself, because your health, vitality, and longevity deserve nothing less. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share your experiences or thoughts. Your feedback inspires us to continue creating valuable content that can transform lives. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share it with others who could benefit. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and we'll see you again soon.